Welcome back to the Architecture Rundown,
Welcome back.
Part 2.
All right, so I think we're just going to preface it as like the architecture rundown. And today we're going to talk about working at a small office. We're going to give you the pros and cons and kind of like a little bit of a background on both of us.
Yeah, so I'm Ramses Terrero, and I got my master's degree from Florida International University. And I did about 2 years of working for a company, an engineering company. And I've been currently here with Christopher for about 7 months now.
I also got my master's degree from Florida International University. Having a master's degree in architecture gives you like kind of like a designer's eye in many facets. And I think that's something that I bring to the table. And I definitely was prepped for my time in an office. Now being in an office, 7 months now, almost 8 months, you definitely get to see a lot of the tools that you got in school into the field. But we're definitely going to cover a lot of the things or gaps that we saw from school and transferring over to the office.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with a major pro about working for a small company. You get to do everything.
You get to do everything. Fantastic. But it also leads into the con of you have to do everything.
Yeah, major con. You have to do everything. Whether you want to or not, you don't have a choice.
Which I think, in our situation, we hope to be entrepreneurs one day. We hope to open an office. So for this to be the first thing that we see is actually great for us because you get to see, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you're in school, you should know that that's a stark reality of the field.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would tell anyone that in school, get an internship at a small office for sure. First and foremost.
Yeah, so you can see everything that it takes to run a business. So typically here in the office, we do mostly governmental work, renovations. Currently, we're working with the airport a lot, which is really great to see at firsthand. And we do some high-end housing, and we take everything from the schematic phase all the way to the CA phase, which is construction administration.
Yeah, I think, obviously prefacing the pros, you kind of have to get out of your comfort zone when you leave school. And I think that's something that you kind of always prefaced in school or harped on in school is like getting out of your comfort zone that, the ability to take on other tasks and learn more things is going to be the best thing for you.
Yeah. So definitely one of the best things about working in a small office and one of the major pros is that you get pushed to get out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
You're going to learn how to do everything. And I think it's such a powerful thing for people coming right out of school. Whereas in a big office, you're most likely going to do one thing and do it really well. In a small office, you get to do everything and it behaves kind of like a studio culture, right? You're a small group trying to get to the same goal. So you'll kind of have to pull your weight.
Pull your weight, absolutely. And I think that kind of leads into kind of one of the other pros is like dealing one-on-one with clients and consultants. Dealing with clients, consultants, and project managers shows you how much this field is team-based, even if you want it to be or not. You get a lot of stuff in school telling you you're going to be the star architect, and once you get out into the field, I think that's something that you realize very quickly, like you're put in your place and that you're part of a team and you better act like it.
Yeah, school is really good to make you believe you're a star architect, right? It doesn't teach you how to be a worker.
No.
Aim to be a star architect.
Yeah.
But learn how to be a worker.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. I think definitely learn to be part of the pyramid, but know that you could be the top at any point.
Yeah, and you're going to see problems at first hand. You're going to see billings, invoices at first hand. You're going to see everything that it takes to run a company, all the expenses that you have, all the losses that you face, because everything that affects the company most likely will affect you.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like a big company where you have so many resources and you have, work stability. If you finish all your projects and you don't have projects coming up, what happens then?
That kind of bleeds into like one of the cons, but I think we'll get to that toward the end. I definitely want to talk about one of the pros of your voice being heard in a smaller office. You know, if it's just you and a couple people in the office, you know, your voice is going to be heard and your opinions matter. Even if they don't, they at least appear to matter a little bit, because your input is going to have to be taken one way or another, kind of like anything else.
Your input is the most important thing, because ultimately and most likely you'll be the one doing all the work.
Well, yeah, most of the time. But you know, that kind of goes into business structure. You know, there's one, maybe two people on top. Below them are project managers or drafting or employees, and then maybe an admin or accounting. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So
you know?
at the moment we have a company of 4 employees, and both of us serve as project managers and drafters, designers.
The full gambit.
Sometimes a little bit of admin.
We have to wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
Which some people may see it as a con, but I don't know if I speak for both of us, but I definitely see it as a pro. Kind of going back to what we said earlier, like wanting to do this one day.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing thing. I feel like it's doing a really great job preparing us for, you know, hopefully one day when we get to own our own business and
continue the journey.
I strongly believe that it's better to make mistakes now and see what works now and what doesn't at now your own personal expense.
Yeah, that's
before
true.
You have all the liability to face by yourself.
Yeah, you might as well.
To everyone coming out of school, everyone starting out, do not be scared to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes no matter how good you are. Make sure you make as many mistakes as possible when you're not liable for them.
Yeah, of course. And like, learn from your mistakes. Don't just make mistakes on purpose. Understand that, you know, you're going to be new and people are going to show you the ropes, but, you know, every once in a while, things come up and you just turn around, you dust yourself off, and you fix what's got to be fixed, and you handle your business. But I think that kind of goes right into the con that we spoke off mic about, which is stability. A lot of people will see it as a con, but I kind of want to flip it into a pro. You know, sometimes you'll be worried about where the next project is coming from, but in a small office, you get to prove yourself and bring value to a business and say, you know what, I'm going to put, you know, all my efforts into calling as many people, networking, and saying, you know, let me see if I can find a project myself. And, you know, the minute you do that and you step up, you become even more respected in the office. And I think it's something that is very special when it comes to working in a small environment.
Yeah, in a small office, you definitely need to bring in value, right? You cannot be a back of the room type of guy. You could be, but how long is that gonna last you, right? Ideally, the fact that you're such a small group of people, everyone should bring in the most amount of value they can possibly bring to the table.
Absolutely.
And you know, whether you want to face it or not, the office is very depending on you. Right? It's not like a big company where everyone can be replaced. And, you know, at the end of the day, as workers, we're all expendable, right? But you're not as expendable in a small company. And the second you bring in so much value to the table, you know, you become that much more valuable as an employee and, you know, potential business partner at one point.
I think all that goes with communication. Like, communication is key with things like that. So as long as you have that, you're good. But I don't know how much you agree with this con specifically, but it's like a perspective thing. So if you have a group of 4 people that think relatively the same, you may not get the same design style mix as someone in a bigger firm, you know, potentially working in studios settings, multiple studios. Maybe people are designing a series of different types of projects. When you're in a smaller office, you kind of only get to see one facet at a time and one style, no matter what the typology of building is usually.
Yeah, and in a big office setting, you have so many resources, right? Physically, digitally, you get to network with people, you get to see different ideas, you get to see how a multiplicity of people behave with the same problem-solving designs,
Absolutely.
right? In a small company, we only pretty much get to see, I don't know, 2-3 other people's perspective
Right.
on the same take.
Right.
And as amazing as it could be to have the same mentality within a small group setting, I think seeing a different perspective and seeing something that can be, more powerful, or a way to solve the problem in a different take, I think is such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And it is something that people should learn, which is, one of the best things, in my opinion, about working at a big office.
Absolutely.
And also, the libraries, big offices have
Yeah.
a very large library of, digital sources, physical sources, plotters, printers, 3D printers, so many things that you can, utilize for your own gain.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a small office, depending who's running it, you might not have the same resources.
Yeah, which will cause you to go out of your comfort zone, which, in some cases you may want to do, in some cases you may not.
Yeah.
But I don't know, in closing, what are your takeaways?
Yeah, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Get your feet wet in school.
Yeah, get
Do
experience.
not wait until you graduate to start looking for a job. If you guys can get your feet wet as a high schooler, as a college student, get them wet right now.
Yeah.
Make mistakes and learn from them right now. So once you graduate, you can have 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 years of professional experience. So right out of school, you can start very high in that corporate ladder, or you can start
higher than people that just started.
Yeah, and in any type of office, a small office, medium office, big office. But if you guys have some type of experience before you have your degree, I think that's such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Because as we both have learned,
Yeah.
as great as a degree is, it's not as important
You have to bring value. Build your portfolio.
as your
and
experience
build
and
your
portfolio.
experience.
Yeah.
That's hands down. That's all I got to say anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I hope you guys found this useful and helpful.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed another episode of the Architecture Rundown.